back. I'm Tracey McCain.
And I'm Nuclo. You're watching Eyewitness News here on the Wax. A lot to talk about, but first, we'll say hello to meteorologist Jill Gilardi for a check on that first alert forecast. Hey, good morning, Jill.
Good morning.
Jill,
you guys are pretty much matching the radar with the colors there.
Well, we wanted to impress you.
Well,
we
you
tried.
Nailed it. Good job, ladies. Starting off on the right foot there. But certainly, before you head out the door, you might need the umbrella, so don't forget that. It's been a while. Dust it off, right? It's like, where did I put you? It's been so long since I've needed you. All right, but the only live radar in the state, we have areas of lighter rain to the north, and then those pockets of heavy downpours down to our south. Even at times, some claps of thunder. We've seen a few lightning strikes here and there. And as we kind of zoom in, showing you some of those heavier pockets of rain, you can see down towards Trumbull, for example, first alert near Bethel. This is all going to be headed towards, say, Oxford, Seymour. Then we have over towards New Haven, all the way up through Meriden and Southington. Some pockets of heavy rainfall. So this will certainly slow you down on the roadways and create some limited visibility. Where it has already rained in Waterbury, so we actually have damp conditions out there to start off. It is 60 degrees, and then we have that rain with maybe some rumbles of thunder in New Haven right now, where it is 67. So definitely above average temperatures. We are starting off at 60 Windsor Locks, 55 Torrington, 67 is the warm spot in New Haven. That flow is coming up from the south. It's on the breezier side. So yeah, a gusty wind at times today with the especially those heavy downpours coming on through. And then as we progress through the rest of this morning, by the time we get to lunchtime, this rain is out of the state. During the afternoon, we'll see a few clouds develop, a spot showers possible, but the bulk of any of our rain chances is going to happen this morning. And then temperatures are going to be very pleasant, but we have a first alert for a big cool down coming our way. And also we have to talk about Milton. We'll have the latest on this very strong already Category 2 hurricane. I'll be back in about 10 minutes with more on that. For now, let's get an update on traffic with Caitlin. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Jill. Good morning, everyone. 7:02, almost 7:03 here on your Monday morning. If you're heading out the door to head to work or bring the kids to school, let's start you off with your drive times and speeds here. 91, you can see Hartford to New Haven moving along. 84 eastbound heading in towards the capital city here. Waterbury to Hartford looking good. And then New Haven to the George Washington Bridge, 95 southbound. We are seeing more than a 2-hour ride at this point. So we do have some heavier delays, 95 southbound and the Parkway. Also just worth mentioning, 95 southbound in Greenwich, there is an incident that has the right lane blocked off. So that's going to contribute to some of those delays. However, I've been following this for you since much earlier this morning. We brought this to you as a breaking traffic alert. First alert here in Meriden, right on the Middletown line, 91 northbound, right between exits 18 and 20. We have some improvement here. This is from an earlier vehicle fire, a tractor trailer that did catch fire earlier this morning. It was hauling some other vehicles. Some of those vehicles also caught fire, so we're seeing some substantial delays through the area. It looks like we're also dealing with some wet road conditions out there as well. Actually, it looks like things maybe just cleared. So that's a little bit of good news as you're getting ready to head out the door. I'll confirm with DOT and state police. But again, just make sure that you're taking your time through the area, especially if those roads are wet at this point. I'm Caitlin Francis with your Connecticut Chevy First Alert Traffic Report, driven by your Connecticut Chevy dealers.
Well, today marks 1 year since Hamas launched a surprise attack over the Israeli border, sparking a new round of deadly conflict that continues today.
Channel 3's Eyewitness News reporter Olivia Schuler joins us from West Hartford with how Connecticut is remembering the lives lost.
Later today, Governor Ned Lamont will speak at a memorial ceremony here at Bethel Temple in West Hartford. It's a way for the Jewish community to come together and reflect on everything that's happened over the last year. Rosh Hashanah was a few days ago. Many people both near and far are hoping this year brings new beginnings. However, right now the war rages on. The war in Gaza has expanded into a regional war impacting Lebanon and Iran. Since 2023, a brutal reality. Tens of thousands of Palestinians and Israelis have been injured, kidnapped, and killed. But even in the midst of friction and turmoil, so many are focused on peace. We spoke to members of Jewish Voice for Peace in West Hartford. Here's what they say they're hoping for this next year.
The most basic principle of Jewish law is the equal sanctity of all life, and we hope to see that honored in the new year.
Once again, Governor Ned Lamont will be meeting here at Bethel Temple at 7 o'clock in West Hartford. Doors open at 6 p.m. In West Hartford, Olivia Schuler, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
1 year later, the conflict overseas has only become more intense, and the number of people continues to rise.
Channel 3's Roger Suzanne at the First Alert desk this morning with the latest from overnight. Roger, what do we know?
Well, unfortunately, ladies, as you mentioned, a year has passed since this conflict started, but it's just getting more violent and more deadly on both sides. Just this morning, in fact, 2 women were hit by shrapnel as they were commemorating the dead victims in a prayer service right near Tel Aviv. Palestinians fired off at least 4 rockets towards that area. Luckily, the victims are expected to survive, and in fact, that prayer service continued even as those bombs exploded around it. Now, that violence comes just hours after 3 people were killed overnight in Gaza on the other side of this conflict. The Israeli military hit a refugee camp there along with a makeshift hospital. 11 people were also injured. Those victims, we're told, include children and journalists. Israeli leaders say the strikes were meant to prevent Hamas from launching a wider scale attack. Of course, we'll continue to track the latest developments on air and online, and I'll have another update in about half an hour. Live at the First Alert Desk, I'm Roger Zen. Caitlin, I'll send it back to you.
All right, this morning, Norwich police searching for the suspects after a shooting near McKinley Avenue. Investigators tell us someone fired a bullet right through the wall of a home. Last night, about 8:30, one person was hit. Still working to learn how badly they were hurt.
This morning, police are searching for suspects after a shooting in New Haven critically injured a man. Police say the shots rang out last night near Goodyear and West Reed Streets. Our Pinpoint News Tracker is showing you exactly where that is. If you have any information that can help police, give them a call and we'll bring you updates as we learn more.
And staying in New Haven now, that's where the Red Cross is helping 9 people find a place to stay after a deadly house fire.
Yeah, I feel bad for these folks. Flames breaking out on Elm Street around 6:30 yesterday morning. As crews began getting people out of the building, they say they found a man on the top floor who had to be taken to the hospital.
Yeah, he died a short time later, and now investigators are trying to figure out how all of this started. Of course, we'll keep you posted here on the air and on the Channel 3 app as we get updates.
In Colchester, another fire has left 8 people without a home. Crews from 6 departments battled the flames on Elm Street late Saturday night. No one was injured in this, but unfortunately, we did learn 2 pets were killed. We're still working to learn how this fire started.
And we're also working to learn the identity of a driver who was killed in a crash in East Windsor. Their passenger remains in critical condition. Police say at about 10:30 on Sunday morning, the driver crashed into a tree somewhere between Chamberlain and Thrall Road in what's being described as a possible medical emergency. We'll update you when we learn more here.
Well, this morning, we are expecting to learn more from the Inspector General's office after a suspect was shot by police after stabbing an officer. Let's go over what happened in Bridgeport early Saturday morning. Police identified the suspect involved as 45-year-old Huntley Jackson of Bridgeport. Police say he stabbed an officer multiple times in the shoulder, neck, and head. Police then shot Huntley as he was brought to the hospital in critical condition. He faces several charges, including attempted murder. This is the 2nd police officer to be stabbed interstate this week. The Office of the Inspector General is leading the investigation and should be releasing body camera footage at some point this week.
People in Florida are bracing for another hurricane less than 2 weeks after Helene hit.
Milton is a Category 1 hurricane and could slam into Florida on Wednesday as a Category 3. Channel 3's Nick Valturo has the latest.
Tampa residents aren't taking chances after the devastation caused by Hurricane Helene.
No, we're gonna board up, bag up, and leave.
The city opening several sandbag locations ahead of the next severe weather threat.
It's been so helpful, and I'm so glad we came early for the line gets here.
Hundreds showed up at the Himes Park Sports Complex, grabbing their shovels. Crews around the city have also been very busy clearing out storm drains.
It's been pretty challenging, but the guys take a lot of pride in their work, and something we do every day, just picking up additional debris due to the storm.
Street sweepers working tirelessly, clearing debris and brush from the sides of the roads.
They have already swept over 700 miles of roadways throughout the city of Tampa.
Castor admits the stormwater system wasn't capable of handling the flooding the city experienced during Helene.
The issue is there isn't a stormwater system in the nation that can take 5 inches of water in an hour. So it takes a couple hours for that water to dissipate.
But she's confident her team is taking every single precaution to make sure they're prepared for whatever this storm brings.
All the boots on the ground, everybody with the city of Tampa is working hard to get you back up on your feet.
Castor says she hopes people will heed evacuation orders this time and won't risk gambling on their safety. In Tampa, Nick Volturo.
Well, it looks like we have Milton now up to a Cat 3 status. So it is officially a major hurricane. This is new just in from the National Hurricane Center. So it is rapidly strengthening, still forecast to get even stronger, up to a Cat 4 and barely weaken back down to a Cat 3, perhaps at landfall. So still a significant storm. Life-threatening conditions are expected across parts of Florida as we head into the daytime hours on Wednesday, and then it'll be moving out to sea and eventually weakening. Locally, we are waiting for the rain in Mystic. It is a beautiful start there right now. A little breeze kicking in. Where we've seen some of the rain, it's been in New Haven. It's a little muggy out there supporting that rain, and you can see right now on the only live radar in the state, even one clap of thunder, so lightning strike out there. New Haven, some downpours, so a little bit of a soaker for some areas as we start off the morning hours, but not everyone getting that beneficial rainfall. It's a lot lighter as you look farther to the north, and as we show you 1 hour from now, with this exclusive product called Future Scan. It goes out 1 hour and you can see all that rain headed towards I-91, but ending back to the west and continuing a few more hours to the east. We'll let you know what's in store for the week ahead, including the chance for frost that's coming up a little bit later.